All right, so this Knife Thoughts video is going to be an unboxing, and as you can see, this is from across the pond, and it's from Who Designs Limited, Who Knives. And so if you haven't heard of Who Knives, they have a few different designs. This is the V2, they also have the V1, and the V3 is coming out soon. And being that they are from the UK, these are UK legal knives, so they're slip joints. And I remember seeing Who Knives when they were first coming out with their V1 design and being really interested, but at that time, I wasn't as into modern slip joints. I was pretty much, just traditional slip joints and fully modern, like one-hand opening, locking knives. So I didn't end up getting one, but it's funny how things just kind of come back around. Recently, they reached out to me and had been talking about if I ever picked one of the V1s up. I said no, and they asked if I'd be interested in checking out the V2. And I said, yeah, of course I would. I'm actually kind of on a modern slip joint kick right now. If you watch my channel, you've seen that I've had a lot of reviews of modern slip joints. And speaking of which, I'm going to use the knife that I have in my pocket right now to open this, which is the Jack Wolf Knives K9 Jack. So we will open this up here. We've got a camping tool in here. There's a lot of, what I would consider silly rules surrounding customs and let alone just carrying and using knives in the UK. So first of all here, one thing I didn't realize is it comes in a nice box. You can see number 155. I don't know if that's a serial number, if this is number 155, but definitely a nice solid, dry box type situation. And here we go. So we've got a microfiber cloth. Let's see, that's kind of wrapped around the knife there. So microfiber cloth with the Who Knives logo, and I want you to see that. You'll see it elsewhere too here, but I really like that. So if you're not familiar with the Who burial heritage site, it's a really cool site where there's a lot of artifacts, and they're really amazing, really beautiful. And this is basically a reconstruction of one of the helmets that were found there. So I love history of all types, but I've got a soft spot for medieval history. Actually, one of my minors in college was medieval and Renaissance history, so I love that. And here it is again. So this is the knife in a baggie, but we're gonna show all of the extras here real quick first. I don't actually know. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what this was, but if you look in there, there's a thumb stud. I'm not sure if it's an extra thumb stud, and some screws, probably just extra, just in case. Here's a cool little sticker. I like the size of that sticker. Nice and small. Can fit it on your water bottle and such. There's that logo again. So Who Knives. I like that. And that gives you a better look at that, reconstructed helmet there, which I'll try to put a link to some information about that because I just really think it's cool. Let's see. We've got a couple business cards. So this is the Who Knives V2 specifications card. We've got M390, so a good blade steel. It's a 2.75 inch cutting edge, 6.67 inches overall, closed length 3.94, 96.9 grams. It's a double detent slip joint, so it's not, a back spring, a traditional slip joint. The handle is titanium, and then you've got a pocket clip, all that good stuff. And the designer is Carl D. Pearson. So check out Who Knives on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then there is a lifetime warranty. It's always nice to get a warranty card, just kind of shows that they actually care about the warranty. But let's take a look at the knife. So I'm excited for this one. I actually like looking at the design. I think that the V2 has a more sophisticated design. Now I love simple designs you know, don't get me wrong, if you watch my videos, you know I really do appreciate a simple design, but the V2, you know, I think appeals to me a little bit more. So very nice. My first impression of this is that it's a really solid feeling, you know, because it is titanium, full titanium there. They've got some little saran wrap type stuff on the clip so it doesn't scratch it up before you get there. Very deep carry clip. See how that's attached there? And it does look to be reversible, so that's nice. You'd have to take the scales off, but I won't need to reverse it, so don't mind having to take the scales off. And it looks like that is an extra pocket clip that's a little bit shorter, so you won't be able to see it in that bag, but a little shorter, this pocket clip, so it gives you some options. Or I'm sorry, not pocket clip, thumb stud. It gives you some options there. And then also notice that there's 3 holes for that thumb stud, so you can, you know, again, have some options there. Very well centered, perfectly centered, I would say, actually. Nice size, you know, EDC size for sure. Let's open this thing up. Ooh. Nothing like a well dialed in double to 10. I'll tell you what, I do think that they're a nice option for a non-locking knife to get that really nice, you know, modern, easy to open feel in a slip joint. So that was nice action there, and let's do that again. Let's try to do it a little slower. Well, actually, first here I want to show, let's see how it closes. So another nice thing about double to 10 knives is often you can really nicely and easily one-hand close them. I want to show it opening a little slower here. So I've got the thumb stud, very nice and smooth, very, very smooth feeling. And so that number 155 was a serial number, so that's really cool. And also, to be honest, I don't know if this is, you know, the latest one that has been made, but you know, pretty low number. You know, that's a relatively, you know, small run in the sense that, you know, collectible. I actually expected or suspected that there were more of these made. It seems like the type of thing that would be really popular. Now, interestingly, for a slip joint, this has kind of what I would call a compound grind. So it's a drop point. You can see it's not an Americanized Tonto, but it's more of like a traditional Tonto, if you were going to call it a Tonto, with this compound grind. But it is definitely, you know, you could call it a drop point if it didn't have that compound grind. The other thing with it being a small knife, I wasn't sure how this would feel in my hand, and right off the bat it feels pretty good. So you can see my index finger goes right into that slot, and then my 2 middle finger and ring finger there go into that second, and then my pinky goes over that hump, and feels pretty good right off the bat. Now, this isn't a massive knife. It's not going to be like a, you know, carving, you know, whatever, bushcrafting and you know, splitting logs and things like that, or stabbing things. But for an EDC knife, I think you get a fine grip on that. And look at the grind here. Now, because of how it is ground, it's a little bit hard to tell right off the bat, you know, how thinly it's ground. The tip looks solid, you know, but not overly thick. But if you'd like to hear my full thoughts on it, I'll definitely do a full review of this knife after carrying and using it. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post that full review of this Who Knives V2. Also check out their YouTube. I'm sure they have lots of videos on it. Let's feel the edge here. Nice and smooth, feels good, feels very sharp. Feel for blade play, no blade play, nice and solid feeling. Really smooth there. Nice and smooth opening. You can close it one-handed easily. I realize that my hand's kind of covering it there while I'm opening it, so you can't see it very well, but let's see if I can show it a little better here. So, very nice and smooth. I'm impressed by this. I think it's a nice, you know, it's a nice mix, I would say. My first impression, like I said, was that it's hefty. It's a nice mix of having a solid feel in a slip joint knife that you can carry where you're not allowed to or don't want to carry a locking knife. So you get that one hand opening without having to, have the lock. And boy, is that smooth. Very, very nicely done on the double detent. Now, I should have checked before making this video. I'm not sure who makes these, what the manufacturer is, so I'll check on that before my full review. But I want to really thank Who Knives for sending this. I think that it's a really cool knife, and I'm really looking forward to carrying and using it. Like I say, I've been loving modern slip joints, and this is a little more modern even than I have been, reviewing recently. So I'm gonna put this one in my pocket, put it to use, and again, thank you for watching. Thank you to Who Knives for sending this knife along for review. I appreciate you watching along, and if you have any comments, leave them below. Check out Who Knives website. I'll link to it in the description. Also check out my other social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Knife Thoughts, and my website knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.